The Abuja-Kaduna highway is about 150 kilometers. That is about a 93-mile journey by road. But this has turned out to be one of the most notorious roads in the country, as this stretch of road has over the years become a kidnapper's den, characterized by ambush of vehicles and attacks at several points along the expressway. The coming of rail transportation along that corridor, that's the Abuja-Kaduna corridor, in 2016 gave recourse to travelers, as many opted for train travels, though more expensive, but a lot of Nigerians considered it a lot more safer. Little did they know that this recourse can only be short-lived, as bandits, or better labeled terrorists, are soon to shift attention to that road as they now lay siege on the Abuja-Kaduna rail track to attack passengers. The most recent of such attacks, sadly, is the Sunday attack, of which a train in which about 10 persons are feared dead and several others injured and abducted came all over the airwaves. And also involved was one of our own, Muhammad Ali, acting Deputy Director News of the NTA, was in the ill-fated train, but thank goodness he was spared. This raises the question of what other alternative Nigerians have who had found solace in rail travel as an alternative to the risky road journeys. This is our focus on Nigeria today. Welcome to the program. I am Lydia Ochi. Thank you for joining us. To begin the conversation, I have via Zoom a rail transport expert who is joining us via Zoom from the United Kingdom, Roland Ataguba, CEO, Bethlehem Rail Chairman, and Technical Advisory Committee on Nigerian Railway Bill and National Transport Commission Bill. Thank you for joining us. Now, let's quickly see the reaction of Nigerians on this development before we proceed on our conversation.
I have several people that were victim in that close alleys. Cousins to my boss was in the rail challenge that happened between Abuja and Kaduna. We solely rely on this government. The government should do something. They should rejig the security architecture of the country.
This security problem needs to be tackled from all angles. You can't wait for the bandits to attack every day, always, here and there. You keep on, condemning the attack without taking the fight to them. This is something shameful. It's a shame. It's a national shame for us not to allow them to attack us the way they like.
You see, the transport sector is a different thing. Making sure that we have means of transportation moving from here to there, that's a basic thing. But what is leading the attacks? What is their purpose? There's always a purpose for every action. These bandits, what are they looking for? Who is their target? Do you understand my point? What were they seeking? If they had gotten their way into that train, was it money they were looking for? Or they just wanted to kill? Are they blood happy? Or someone sent them? So the security operatives need to identify what the bandits are looking for.
Obviously, no Nigerian is happy about this development. So now let me go over to my guest who is joining me via Zoom at the UK, Mr. Roland Ataguba, CEO, Bethlehem Rail Chairman, and the Technical Advisory Committee on Nigerian Railway Bill and National Transport Commission Bill. Thank you for finding time to join us.
Thank you.
Now tell us, what was your immediate reaction when you heard about this?
I was scared, frightening, totally devastating. It was not unexpected, if I may say. We had an incident about 6 months ago, which was, call it, if you like, a warning shot. And we needed to raise our game and install some technology-driven solutions. The minister had talked about it, but it's a surprise that it hasn't happened yet. And that's 6 months ago. But this is terrible. There's been loss of life. There have been kidnapped people, and there's a total disruption to transportation in that axis. I mean, previously we heard about the issues around the Kaduna airport, and I mean, for quite a long time now, the road has been, dreadful. So this is like shutting down the last window for people to egress between Abuja and Kaduna. Is a total disaster, and something needs to be done about it.
Definitely. Just like you said, this is the second attack in 6 months. And while you were sharing your views, you said it was expected. Why did you say that?
Well, I mean, we had this 6 months ago. And quite clearly, nothing tangible has been done to forestall this. Mm-hmm. Apparently, I have no knowledge of any steps that have been taken, but if they had, then we wouldn't have had this issue. Okay. Except this time, it's quite an escalation that we're seeing. We've had loss of lives. Yeah. Terrible stories are still emanating from this incident, and it's a real cause for worry.
Okay, now, how would you react to this now? What do you think would have been done to avert a reoccurrence?
Well, number one, I did say to you that there are technology-driven solutions that are possible, and the minister talked about implementing these. We've got intrusion alarm systems that are possible that would provide early warnings. You have broken rail detection systems. These are, they don't prevent, but they give you early warning and enable human intervention. It enables the security forces or services to intervene early and protect people. Now, look, it is not just a railway problem. Mm-hmm. Quite clearly, we have a serious security challenge across the country. Some bandits or some criminals have decided to wage war on the Nigerian state. Mm-hmm. So it's not just an essentially railway problem. Okay. It's environmental. But look, government has got to rise up to this. This has gone on for too long, and we're slowly being emasculated until we're all killed.
We hope it doesn't get to that. Now, I want you to just tell us the importance of the rail transport to the economy, especially the Nigerian economy.
Look, the railways have been they're a key transportation sector, and it's been in the doldrums for quite a while. Mm-hmm. And over the years, it's been slowly being revitalized. And what we have here is a big blow that has been struck right at the heart of everything that government has done. So much investment has gone into the railways in recent times. And the Kaduna-Abuja railway has been particularly popular. Popular because the alternative has been in a very bad state. The Abuja-Kaduna highway has become, impassable because of the activity of these bandits. Mm-hmm. And now the only axis that we have is being slowly throttled and made impossible to use. Mm-hmm. It's just an impossible situation. As far as the economy is concerned, this is a key transportation element for the movement of goods and services. We're not there yet as far as railway is concerned. It used to be a key component of our transport system, moving at least 60% of all transportation traffic in the early days. We've lost a lot of that market share, and we were slowly hoping that we could recover this. And this has hit right at the heart of our railway system. And it's got to be stopped. We've got to do something about it.
Okay, now let's talk more about the rail transportation. In other climes, let's talk about the UK, for instance. They seem to be getting it right. It's working well for them and the economy. What are we still not getting right concerning the rail transport in Nigeria?
That's a big topic. There are key elements. Number one, infrastructure has been run down for some time, and slowly the government has been revitalizing that. But the system itself, the operation of the railway, needs reform. It needs to be restructured so you can bring in private capital and private management, superior management practices into the railway system. That is lacking. And also, I can tell you that if we had private operators running the Abuja-Kaduna railway, you would have seen a far more responsive system in place, i.e. when the first incident or the first few incidents happened 6 months ago, you would have had the implementation of surveillance systems and the technology that we talked about rapidly implemented because, of course, the private operator is aware of the impact of that kind of disruption to his business. But the government-run systems are generally very slow and unresponsive. And some of what we're seeing now is a playoff of that imperative. And therefore, we must reform our railway system. We must change our laws. We're slowly doing that, but we're not doing it fast enough. And people are losing their lives as a result of this.
Quite unfortunate. Now, the way forward. Actually, like you earlier said, the train transportation had over the years provided succor for Nigerians. Now with this recent attack, what will Nigerians have to contend with now? What do they do? What will they do right now? You can't travel by road, you can't go by air. Now the rail challenges.
It's a serious blow, I can tell you that, especially between these Abuja-Kaduna. This railway was a lifeline to a lot of people. And I've seen in my newsfeed this afternoon that the president has directed immediate implementation of the solution of a surveillance system. Well, okay, but it's a bit too late for those who have lost their lives, but it's still right step in the right direction. But we need to start to do things timely. We need to start to address the shortcomings in the way we operate our railway. We need to start to bring in the relevant authorities and the relevant skills sets into our railway system. We've been dragging our feet and sleepwalking for too long. We need to do the right things and start to do them ASAP. Can't keep at this.
Oh, definitely. Let's go on a break now. We're back to talk more. Don't go away.
Actually, I was on phone when the blast and the shaking started. I was talking to a colleague, giving instruction on what was supposed to happen on the news yesterday. But while in the course of that, from the course of the shaking and everything, this thing, I lost the phone. I couldn't trace the phone again. So, but my instinct was that I had actually wanted to do recordings because I was calm. Everything I was surprised at the level of my calmness, and I knew the time that the train derailed because I had the velocity of the train and the weight that it came down, and because of those sleepers, the train now is moving on those sleepers, so we are jacking, and then it comes to a violent stop. So I thought it was just something that happened and the train derailed. suddenly there was gunshots, sporadic, non-stop. And so I knew that then it was not the normal thing that we experience on that train whenever we pass. There were women and there were children. And of course, when the military came, they were the priority. The women and the children were given priority.
That was one of our staff, acting deputy director is Mohammed Ali, who was on that train, and luckily he survived. That was his own account, personal account, on what he saw there. Now, that must have been quite a terrifying, traumatic experience for those who were on the train. How can we ensure that this does not happen again, Roland?
Well, again, that question should be to the security people. They understand these issues better than I do. It is a big challenge that we face as a country. I have no doubt, and I'm sure that the right people are doing the best that they can to arrest this situation. But the reality is that our railways cannot take these kind of shocks. Number one, we're expecting to interest investors into the sector. The moment this just raises the riskiness of investments, and especially these are long-term investments that take quite a few years for you to flip. And for these kind of incidents, it just hits right at the heart of confidence. So the way forward is the security people need to address what is in the environment. We need to be rid of these bandits. I don't know how they go about their business, but this has been going on for too long, and it needs to be arrested.
Definitely, it has been going on for too long, the issue of terrorists or bandits, as they were called. Now, what alternatives should Nigeria work on to ensure safe transport system in the face of very expensive air travel and unsafe road network?
I have just no idea. As I said earlier, we just slowly, it's like life is being squeezed out of the Nigerian traveling population. The roads, which used to be the most available to the common man, so to speak, has now become a terrifying experience. Now, the railways, which doesn't cover much of our geography, we have quite limited functionality in our railways, is also being squeezed. Now, air travel, well, of late we started, with the cost of jet fuel having gone through the roof. Even that, the middle classes are even struggling to get on board air travel now. And with the incident, if you just look at Kaduna is right at the heart of northern Nigeria. A lot of movement between Kaduna and Abuja takes place. And it's as if someone has it in for Kaduna. I don't know what the story is. I don't know what it is. But, only a few days ago, we had something around the Kaduna airport. Now this. The road between Abuja and Kaduna is treacherous. So you just wonder, what exactly is it? What is it that they want? What is it that they're after? I haven't got those answers. I just wish I did.
Yeah, questions there. Now let's talk about deploying the use of technology to ensure security. Do you think that is feasible in our climb here?
Yes, of course. We're not talking about reinventing the wheel. These systems exist, and some of the problems we have are not new. These have happened elsewhere, and they've addressed them in numerous ways. Technology helps, But you still need human intervention. All the technology does is provide you with information. You still need to interpret the data. You still need to intervene in a way that forestalls danger. Now, all of that we have in abundance in terms of human capacity. We just need to develop it. Yes, of course. But we need to start to do those things, and we need to hurry up. The last time it was 6 months ago. Why are we still here? That is the question.
Big question. Now, the president few hours ago summoned security chiefs with a directive that immediate conclusion of all the processes for the implementation of integrated security surveillance and monitoring for all the active railway lines should be in place as soon as possible. How effective will this be?
Well, it's a big question. But it'll certainly be better than nothing. And as I said, we need to get our people safe. That's the most important. And this is a huge blow to our transportation system. It's a huge blow to the morale of our people as well. We're slowly, it's like the life is being slowly squeezed out of our people. And this can't be right. And I'm sure the government itself knows how these things are affecting the people and will do its best to ameliorate.
Okay, Roland, let's get your final thoughts on this whole issue. Your parting words.
Well, I just, my heart goes out. I mean, look, I have friends and brothers involved in this latest experience. Awan Hassan is my classmate. We grew up together as young people in Ahmadu Bello University many years ago. My heart goes out to his family, and I pray for his safe return. We hear he has been kidnapped, and there are so many other people who have suffered and have been hurt in this episode. We pray for their safe return, and we pray that those who have been hurt, those in hospitals, and those who have lost their lives, we pray that the Lord gives strength to their families and for the repose of their souls. Going forward, the ball's in the court of the government. We're looking up to it to address the issues that are driving these. And we pray that God gives them the courage and the strength to address these things. But yes, as I said, technology is one way, but we've got to get to the root of what's causing all of this. We've got to get rid of these troubles. We can't carry on this way. The life is being slowly squeezed out of our country. Our country is bleeding. I am so sad. I'm so sad about this.
Yes, definitely a sad moment for us right now. May their souls rest in peace. I must thank you, Roland Taguba, CEO, Bethlehem Rail Chairman, Technical Advisory Committee on Nigerian Railway Bill and National Transport Commission Bill. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and to our viewers, thank you for being a part of the program. Remember, you can still watch this episode and other ones on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. Till I come your way again, I am Lydia Ochi. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.